Welcome to the Drooniverse!
And welcome all to the officially unofficial Elite Dangerous live stream brought to you by me, Drew Wiggy, your host extraordinaire this evening. It's good to be back. It's Wednesday, and it's time for me, alas, to do spacey stuff once more. To boldly go where no Drew has probably flown before, to spread incompetence amongst the stars. But before any of that happens, we must do the thing, because the thing is the thing. The thing must be done. And alas, the chat has busted itself once more, because there's too many of you in the chat. This I think is the problem, is Twitch is basically just overwhelmed with your sheer generosity of talking before the stream actually even starts. So alas, I don't know who is in number one. I suspect it wasn't Top Shot, but I have to go with what the screen shows, I'm afraid. Oh, I disappeared out of existence momentarily. There was a great cheer throughout the universe, which was then, many of voices quiet out in horror was suddenly silenced because I returned. I don't know what that kind of glitch was. The glitch of the Matrix. See, I'm not actually here. I am just an avatar. There's no such thing as Drew Wager. It's just a figment of some deranged computer's imagination. Anyway, never mind. Right, it was Top Shot. So I don't think it was Top Shot because the chat only starts at 11 minutes past 19, and it appears to start mid-conversation. So, whoever went before that, alas, has disappeared off the top of the history. But I can only go with what's on the screen. So Top Shot gets it. So congratulations to Top Shot, even though you're possibly not the worthy winner. You are, in fact, the winner. So there you go. Winterboot GB is here. Of course, he is in second place, unusually tonight, because of the laws of Twitch chat. Cyberdarmy's there as well, which is good. Thank you very much for popping in, Simon Army. Ugly Spirit is there as well. Good to see you. I'm sure you don't have an ugly spirit. I'm sure you have a jolly pleasant spirit. That's not what your username says, so that's what I have to go with. Then there's a lot of chat between Top Shot and Ugly Spirit. But anyway, there we go. Right, Solstice Project is here as well. Hey, he's in time. He's early. He's getting very keen. I think he got alarmed by the fact that his to-dos were being usurped by others, and he's now prompt because he doesn't want to miss out. Anyway, so Solstice Project, congratulations. Then we have them. Who's next? Then the Arakises are, early in the chat, the Arakises are poised, ready to fade off the invasion of the Harkonnens 20 minutes early, which is also keen. So that's good. So congratulations to the Arakises. No sign of the Harkonnens at this point in the chat at all. So I don't know what we make of that. Are the Arakises sensing some kind of invasion is afoot? The Harkonnens actually gone off and planned something? Who knows? Anyway, they're conspicuous by their absence for quite some time too. Anyway, and then suddenly they do show up. There you go. The Harkonnens have entered the chat. They've pulled themselves together, leant forward off the sofa, pressed some buttons and done some stuff. Anyway, that was good. Biffboy81 is here as well. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Alice is here. Alice underscore D underscore M. We still haven't quite got to the bottom of the D and the M. But one of these days, we're going to go there because that's clearly a rich vein of excitement that we need to talk about. And yes, the Artemis 2 launch. I'm kind of hoping. I was thinking of staying up late to watch this. But of course, what normally happens if I do that, then the thing will get scrubbed or delayed. That'll be sometime in the early morning hours when it actually takes off. Because for some, presumably for reasons of celestial dynamics, and not just to annoy me, it's very late in the evening on the UK. So there we go. But never mind. Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in, Alice. Have a Boo Boo's here with customary 4 thumbs up. 1 thumb for every syllable of his username. Good to see you. Commander Gaspar is here as well. So that's good to see. Thank you very much for popping in, Mr. Gaspar. That's Gaspar. Sorry. That's excellent to see you in the chat. Commander Groman is here as well. Good to see you. Mima Metal is here as well. Fantastic. Onorelli. Now that sounds like a sort of Italian scooter. To me, the Ozzarelli 500. I get this sort of thing about 1970s mods with lots of wing mirrors and an Ozzarelli. Although it wouldn't be a 500, would it? It'd be like a 50cc or something like that. Anyway, it's sounds like a small motorbike, which I'm sure it isn't, but that's what it sounds like. The Haunted Loaf is here as well, that possessed yeast product. Good to see you. Glandril is here, which sounds like an elf from Lord of the Rings. So hopefully you're spreading kind of immortal glowy joy around the place. So thank you very much for popping in. That's good to see. Big 39 GT is here as well. Alexander Corbin is here, shouting doom, which might be just a reaction to me being on the stream, but there we go. So that's good. Lumsace is here. Good to see you. Thank you very much indeed. Popping in. That's excellent. Andy P783 is here as well. That rhymes. Very important to point that out. That's good to see. Who else do we have? And Cyberdummy is on a 7-stream streak, which is not to be encouraged, I don't think. Right, Commander Tragic Blue 21 is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Totally Bewildered, which is probably the perfect username for this stream, is here as well. Excellent to see you. Them damn bagpipes are also here. Good to see you. The Kazakh is here. The Launderer is here. He says, blimey, I've managed to catch a live one. Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. And then there's the do's. That excellent. I'm glad to see those have made a strong return as well. Thank you very much indeed. Is it still cold in Scotland? Yes, it is. It's bloody freezing. We've had snow again today. It's currently raining. So yeah, we're not out of winter yet. And a NASA pin. Well, it's sort of a NASA pin. It's basically, it says not flat. We checked. and a nice scarf. Yes, that's good. So that's good. Who else do I have? Have I missed anybody? Electro Ace is here as well. Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Daddy Hoggy's here. Hello, Daddy Hoggy. Whee! Good to see you. Thank you very much for popping in. Labandon is here. We also have who else we have? All sorts of people. No, I think I've covered most of them. Yes, I think come down to the bottom. Have I missed anybody? Hopefully not. Now there was something mentioned in the chat here, which I feel we can't pass unmarked. Apparently Wintermute GB is having a birthday. I mean, so well, congratulations, Mr. Wintermute GB. It's of course your birthday, and I believe there's a significant number involved, something with a 6 in it. I'm not going any further into that because that's plenty of numbers. That's probably you're probably sick and tired of that. So that's quite good. Yeah, so happy birthday. It's. I mean, I wouldn't want to be cruel or anything and put any strange noises in the background of my stream. Or anything along those lines. But well, you never know. I mean, what sort of things? What sort of things could you do in the background of stuff? I mean, is there anything? I mean, I wouldn't be that cruel, would I? Would I be that cruel? I would. Yes, I would. I defy your mute button. Anyway, my friend, happy birthday. I hope you had a good day. I know I've ruined it for you. Cackles away. In great music. One more time. Well, we could do it again. Maybe we'll do it at the end. Maybe we won't. Maybe I'll just press it randomly throughout the stream because that's the kind of guy I am. So anyway, congratulations, WinterMute. I'm sure everybody on the chat is united in wishing you a very some sort of birthday celebration anyway. So yes, dear WinterMute GB, happy birthday. All right. I suppose it's time out to get on with some waffle. So let's do that. Brace yourselves for impact, my friend, because it is time, as you would expect, for some waffling. Here we go. Forgotten which button to press. Didn't want to accidentally trigger the bagpipes inadvertently. So thanks, Drew. Still hate you. My work here is done. Dear. So that's quite fun. So now immortalised by the Kazakh. Excellent. We need one for each year of Wintermute's birthday. We should maybe. I mean, have 60 bagpipe renditions. We've got 2 hours. That's once every 2 minutes. I think. I think we can do that. It's kind of like that's like their modern equivalent to giving somebody the bumps at school, which was okay when they were like only 7, but at 60, it's likely to dislocate a shoulder, isn't it? I might be tempted to accidentally press a button sometime during the. I mean, accidents can happen, Yeah, they can. It certainly wouldn't be my fault if I accidentally double-clicked on an icon. I've done things like that before. It's a funny thing, actually, isn't it? Marking birthdays. I think particularly I'm losing count. I have to go and double check now which birthday I'm actually on, because when I was young, it was easy because I was born in 1970. And thus you just add 1 to the 0, and for many years that was fairly straightforward. I started losing track of it when I got past about the year 2000 because the maths started getting complicated, and when you're into your 40s and your 50s, it becomes less kind of like, yay, there's another year gone, rather than yay, I'm now older and I could do stuff that I couldn't do last year. Because as you get older, when you're young, it's kind of like, yay, I'm older, I can do stuff that I couldn't do. When you get older, your birthday is, oh no, I'm another year older. Now there's stuff I can't do as a result of the extra year. It's when you run out of tentacles that the counting gets. It does. It's tricky. I'm definitely out of appendages. Beyond, you run out of appendages in some, basically at 20, don't you? And then you have to start doing maths and counting. I suppose you could do it in binary, couldn't you? But that's just masochistic. Let's not do that. Does Wintermute get a free bus pass? Well, I think we may be. I don't know how many other people on the stream are older than 60. Does anybody want to hold their hand up? Is Wintermute now the sage elder amongst our company that we should all be kind of paying homage to and gathering around as he stands there, kind of, surrounded by a mystical aura of otherness now that he's got a 6 at his age. I don't know. Okay, so Labaton is 69 and Hababubu is 67. Okay, but actually, I feel quite reassured now. I'm surrounded by a council of elders. This is good. Dream Darkstar has sneaked in in the story. I'm like, we've already missed the highlight of the stream, which is us trying to wind Wintermute GB up. Wintermute says you have to be much older for a free bus pass, but I do qualify for free prescriptions and ITIS. So there, it's worth it, isn't it? It's worth slowly degenerating into the greater numbers. Totally bewildered is, alas, well over 60 years lost to salary slavery. Yes, I know. That's not a good thing. I feel rejuvenated now. I feel like I'm one of the youngsters. It's all these sage elders around me, looking at me, saying, just you wait, my young apprentice. When once you reach the great ages that we have already grown to, you too will understand. So I'm feeling very young and spread. I'm going to run up and down some stairs and maybe stretch my back and reach for things on the top shelf and stuff like that. It is 60 for a bus pass. That's a bit scary. I've only got 4 and a bit years to go before I can have a bus pass. That feels a bit sad. The Landra has just retired. See, look, this is this. This, this is revealing to me the wide and expansive demographic of my stream. WTBGB fairly points out, but the last time I stretched my back, I had to cancel. I did. You're quite right. I did bust my back. Actually, that we did determine that was in fact my dog's fault. Well, I mean, it wasn't the dog's fault. She didn't deliberately decide, right, this morning I'm going to break Drew's back. But she did actually jolt it. It was my fault for not letting go of the lead in time when I saw she was running at full pelt and hadn't understood that she was tethered to me at the time. So that's right. Landra, the Landra has just retired at 50. Now that's impressive. I haven't managed that yet, and I will be on 50. So that's good. So well, congratulations on that, Landra. That's that's very impressive. Tony Builder said, "Watch the moon landing on Concorde's first flight." Lest I have. So that's quite good. I didn't see the original moon landings. I have got some photographs of it actually, which sounds a bit strange, but my dad in 1969 took some photos. Yeah, he basically pointed the camera at the telly and took some pictures of the moon landing as Neil Armstrong stepped out of the lunar module, and I've got those photos framed in a little thing on my wall. So no, he wasn't on the moon. No. He was on the sound stage. Yeah. So that's so my dad. Yes, I suppose that's fair enough. My dad pirated the moon landing. He did. I must hang on. Let me go get it because I can probably show it to you. Let me press the be right back button. Let's see if this still works. Hang on a moment. I'll go and get it. Right, we're back now. Let's see if this works because these are pictures from the television. I'm going to have to switch off the. I'm going to have to switch off the thingamajig here, the virtual background, because it won't work otherwise. Right, so you can. I'm going to have to hold it somewhere. I don't know if you can see that too well. Let me show you the first one, which is there. So there you go, live from the surface of the moon. It's quite indistinct. I've got that silly light shining in the way, but you can just make out I think people there, and then shots of the moon and some dude in a spaceship, and that's there. The Apollo 11 moon landing photographed live on television, 10:56 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, July 1969 by H. Wager, which is my dear departed my dad. So I've got that as a nice sort of memento of the original moon landing. And yes, oval screen, yeah, those old black and white televisions. So yes, that was pretty cool. Right, let me switch that back on because I need to be in space, obviously. And I've disappeared again. I'm back. There's clearly something wrong with the fabric of the universe. So my dad took photographs, which is actually quite clever. He took photographs of the television screen, which I don't know how complicated that was back then. But there, was there a clarinet? There was. You're very, very correctly spotted. Actually, what you can see in the background there is that side. There is a clarinet. There's also a chanter over there, which is my bagpipe fingering, which I'm working on. You can probably see an acoustic guitar over there. There is my trusty electric guitar down here, and obviously my two keyboards, which I occasionally inflict upon you as well. So there we go. So my dad took pictures of the moon, and it's fascinating to me that we're 50 years down the road now from those Apollo moon landings, and here we are watching, or in fact this evening, hoping to see the Artemis one go up to space. I hesitate to add. The theremin is over there as well. The theremin, I need to get back on practicing. I've now got it, because it's an electronic thing, I need to get it wired in. What I haven't got here at the moment, which I need to get, is a mixer, because I've got an electric guitar which is plugged into an amp, and my keyboard's currently plugged into each other, if that makes sense, because one of them doesn't have speakers, the other one does. And the theremin also needs an input, and I haven't got anything to plug the theremin into at the moment, so I need to get a mixer of some kind. So I'm going to investigate how to do that. Obviously, things like the clarinet and the chanter do not need a mixer because they're just wind instruments. So, but they will work better with the microphone, which is behind me. There's an acoustic mic there as well. So yeah, all these things are coming when I finally get some time to do them. Thanks, Drew. Your listing of instruments reminds me of Mike of course. Yes. I love that. I love that album. I particularly like the way he says, "What's the one I particularly like?" He just introduces them as if he's really, really excited. Introducing clarinet, glockenspiel, and things like that. Acoustic guitar, and stuff like that. So that's quite good. So Artemis 2, sorry, should I say? So yes, we'll get on. But yes, musical instruments, and I've also got my trusty little Akai MPK Mini. This is a great little bit of kit. If I just need to quickly jam out a tune, I can use that. So that's basically MIDI. That's MIDI Central. That is. You can't go wrong with a bit of Mike Oldfield, can you? And obviously Tubular Bells itself is probably one of his definitive albums. There is Tubular Bells 2 as well, which I don't know if I've actually got, but I know I've got the that's an acoustic guitar and double speed guitar. This is the way he introduces it, like it's some sort of epic weapon of yore, which is very cool. And there's a 3 as well. I'll have to. I must admit, I kind of lost track of some of those things. I need to get back into it. So there we go. But anyway, it's probably enough problem, because I know. Well, I've got a problem. I've got a mission of stupidity again tonight. Unsurprisingly, is after the excitement of last week's stream, I left my spaceship rather carelessly docked at the new space station, and I ran out of time because I was busy. To move my spaceship to the Odysseus Fleet Carrier, which means effectively I've missed the bus. That's exactly what I've done. I'm now going to wander up to the bus stop and go, there's nothing here. So I am now in the depth of space, without so much as a compass to. There'll be a bit of jumping. That's what I feared. So I think I better get into the game and do a bit of jumping. So that's quite good. And obviously, before we do that, we should just make sure that we wish Wintermute GB a happy birthday again, because well, why not? I think that's the only right thing to do. I can guarantee that almost certainly won't happen again in the stream. Did I recall that? No, alas, my bagpipe skills have not approached that level of sophistication. I think we're going to have to rename Wintermute. Wintermute GB really ought to change his username to just Mute. Wintermute in capital letters, GB. Yes, I thought that the last little bit of vibrato on the last note was particularly poignant, and in Wintermute's case, particularly irritating. So I thought, yes, That's perfectly exactly what we need. Right, let's get on with it. Oh, hang on, no, we've got a Galnet. I forget. God, we must do Galnet. Hang on a minute. Right, right. Well, brace yourselves because it's time to do some Galnetting. Here we go. Right, here's the Galnet website. Right. Arg the Piper says, totally bewildered. Wintermute GB says, thanks for all the birthday wishes, people, but not from Drew. Not for all the effort I spent. There was no expense spent whatsoever, Wintermute GB. I hope you appreciate all that. Right, we have a Galnet actually. So what does this one say? This presumably is the end of the CG, isn't it? The exploration. Yeah, hang on a minute. Let's get this to a point where font size I can actually read it. Draw on the pipes for the next stream. Wouldn't that be good? Says Baron Von Doodle. Well, I'm still working on that. I haven't got any bagpipes yet. I need to learn how to play first. Mute is the diminutive for winter mute. Perhaps we should call you spring mute now. Andy P73, you might be in luck, Drew, if you can find one of the other carriers as well. They all meet at the next waypoint. Okay, well that's good. So anyway, here we are. Exploration Data Initiative for Rainbow's End concludes successfully. Excellent. Well, that's good news. The Exploration Initiative supporting the new Rainbow's End deep space port has concluded, with commanders delivering a substantial volume of exploration data to the facility, Drew Wager included. Or Alessio Verdi, anyway. Organisers confirmed the target for Stellar survey submissions was exceeded well ahead of expectations. Excellent. Well done, everybody. Hurrah. Allowing scientific teams to begin large-scale modelling of galactic regions around the starport's home system of something unpronounceable and complicated. Deep Space Survey Operations Executive Hermine de la Rue released a statement following the conclusion of the initiative, : The response from the exploration community has been exceptional. Well, that's because explorers are exceptional. They're the best of the best of the best in Elite Dangerous, aren't they, the explorers? Data banks at Rainbow's End are now filled with quality survey data gathered from some of the remote areas of the galaxy. What is a data bank, anyway? There's something that came out of Star Trek, I think in the original series. Mr. Spock was always going on about data banks. It's not something I think actually really exists in IT. I mean, we have databases and we have data, but I don't think we actually have data banks. They sound cool, though, don't they? Our modelling teams can begin analysing the information to produce new stellar maps of this region. We will issue further mission priorities to our explorers via our internal communications channels once analysis is completed. Excellent. De la Rue expressed her thanks to all participating commanders on behalf of Distant Worlds 3 Expedition Command Team and wished the new port luck as a hub for deep space research. Rainbow's End is now fully operational and open to pilots exploring the Mare Somnium frontier. So that's quite good. So DW3 has basically built a new space station way out in the depths of space. Is it where they loan data? Yeah, a data bank. So yeah, well, that's good. Well, that's excellent. And yes, there is some story concerning the shenanigans going on around this, which are obviously not officially appearing in Galnet, which you can find on, of course, Distant Worlds 3 website, and you can also find a forum thread, I think, on Frontiers forum dedicated specifically to the what's been going on. So yes, and good to see some story going on with Elite Dangerous there, which is excellent. Right, let me find out where the heck I am. Yeah, so data lakes definitely exist. I came across data lakes in my previous but one job. So a data bank is more like an organisation. Okay, well, anyway, right. Well, let's get on with the playthrough and find out where in Earth in the universe I am and what I'm going to do about it. Here we go. Right. Nope. Wrong button. That one. There we go. Right. I've just started up the game. We will log in and find out where we don't we see the intro sequence, do we? There we go. Cobras and space stations and planets and all manner of coolness. The bonny banks of... Well, shouldn't it be data... I mean, up here in Scotland, presumably there would be data locks rather than data lakes. I wonder if that's the thing. Where on Earth? No, I'm definitely not on Earth. No, that's probably fair. So let me log in, find out what's going on, and connect to private group session. Now, is there anybody I know on my friends list who actually is in the vicinity of a fleet carrier? Because that will probably help me navigate quite a lot. Pillar so Cyber Army is already on the case. Pillar of Chister is probably the closer one to Drew. Right, okay, so that's good. Apparently I'm on foot at the moment, which presumably means I'm hanging around in the bar. Or at least I was hanging around in the bar. So let's get back to my ship. Find out what kind of trouble I've now got myself into by being completely lazy and unprepared for the stream. Gaspar says Fimblethul is on the move. Is that like Aslan is on the move? Get the rewards first, yeah. I'll have a look at the menu. What do I have to do that? Do I just go into the missions thingamajig? I have to run the length of the ship, otherwise the stream will be over. There we go. Baron Von Noodle says, "Are you in Scotland now?" I used to live just around here. Yes, in Baron Von Noodle, I am indeed. I'm in the furthest reaches of Scotland. So yes, I am. I'm in the far-flung corners of a county called Murray, which is spelt Moray, for reasons that only the Scots know. Right, community goals. So I'm signed up. It's done. It's complete. There were 2,842 contributors, and I got to the top 100%. Well, apparently I got 20 million credits. So I mean, that's not outrageous, is it? So that, yeah. So well, that's good. Yeah. So moray like the eel, not the lip. Well, it's pronounced like the mint, but not spelt like the mint. But no module for me. No, I mean I never get very far up these sort of things. So let's. Oh, I've got some invitations. We would like invitations. A friend request from XT Ashesh something, and a team request from Commander Raxler Redacted and Top Shot. So I don't know where are you guys, I suppose, is the question. Let's have a look at the galaxy map and see what sort of trouble I'm in, because I'm in a very sparsely populated part of the galaxy. And Drew has entered the ship. He looks north to the far sectors. So, okay, so what have I got here? Bimbleful is at Freya, which isn't showing up. Oh, there. Freya Flyo. Who's at Freya Bio then? How far away is that? Okay, that's 7,000 light years away there. Well, that's no good. That's a long old way. What's that one there? What's that? What's Rafo TKE? What's that symbol mean? Oh, squadron. Oh, a squadron carrier. Oh, my squadron's carrier. So that's the Raxler carrier. I wonder where that's going. Is it so? Does it? Yeah, I'm 7,000 light years behind. That's a long old way, isn't it? I mean, so I've got a friend. Who's that? Just as a friend is present. That's 5,000 light years away, and whoever's up here is 4,000 light years away as well. So, I've got a waypoint here which I don't recognise. Bookmarked children. A sublocation is bookmarked. What does that mean? Gure is the science carrier. So how do I find out what that is? Is that the closest? Is that the closest carrier to me as part of the Distant Worlds 3 expedition? So I'm going to. Commander Gorman thinks it's possibly the closest. Well, let's see if it can plot me a route. It's thinking. Use Spench. You could try Spench root neutron router. What's that? So Wintermute says use Spench as well. So what is Spench? Oh, it's the third-party tool. Okay. Okay, well, it's managed to plot me a route there. It's only, according to that, it's only 13 jumps. So, is that the science carrier? Well, let me go there, because that doesn't sound outrageous. Yeah, 13 isn't too bad at all, is it? I presume there's some neutron starry stuff that I need to do there, though. Okay, so Spanch is a route plotting website renowned for... Yeah, 13. It's not ominous at all. What could possibly go wrong? Well, we're going to have to say goodbye to Rainbow's End, which is cool. I'm glad there's a space station out here. And we were all sort of a bit involved in its construction, which is nice. Let's fly out of it the right way around. Oh, my skills there. Okay, so the science carrier. So I should be able to catch up with the science carrier. I mean, I've been on the Odysseus quite sometimes. That's 140 light years. Have I got a... Can I tell if I've already charged my... Can I tell if I've already charged my drive? I suppose I can just try and jump. The ship details. Current unladen doesn't look like. No, so I've got to charge my drive first.
Frameshift drive charging.
Range would be 100 plus if you had charge, okay. Well, I don't want to. I need to be over there.
Frameshift drive charging.
In fact, I can't. I haven't got the. How do I cancel a hyperspace lock?
Frameshift drive charging. 4,
Oh, there we go.
3, 2, 1. Engage.
So I need to go into a white dwarf now. This is tricky because the exclusion zone is a bit awkward, isn't it? On a bit awkward on white dwarfs. So I'm going to fly into the very extremes. No, I haven't gathered any mats, I'm afraid. So let's go in to the extreme ends of the white dwarf here.
Warning. Frameshift
There we go.
drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive
There we go.
charged.
Did that quite well for once. Right.
Frameshift
There we
drive
go, we're off.
charging.
Like a pro, almost. I could switch orbit lines on, yes. I don't like the orbit lines though, they clutter up the HUD. I like to live dangerously. Right, so we're going to say goodbye. Goodbye to Rainbow's End. A fond farewell to our outpost in the depths of space. Gazpa says mostly pro, yes. It's kind of mostly harmless. Right, this looks like is it a neutron star up ahead, or is it looks more like a neutron star. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Whoa, let's not go in too fast because danger. Danger, Will Robinson.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive
Again.
charged.
Yes, I got caught out last week with the exclusion zone, and it all got quite awkward. 234 light years.
Frameshift drive
Boom! We are flying, my friends. Look, it's hardly using any fuel at all. That's insane. It's easy in the Caspian. It's ugly spirit. Treading very carefully around Drew's ego there. Does anybody know? I mean, presumably some of you have got the Artemis 2 live stream running on your monitors at the same time I'm wittering on. So, how are they doing? Last thing I saw was that they were fueling the ship. The hydrogen was in and the oxygen was loading. Is it still going okay? How are things proceeding? I'm keen to know. I don't know, I haven't been scanning these regions either, which is...
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged.
400, look at, we are flying here. This is awesomeness.
Frameshift drive charging.
They stopped for a cigarette break. Just imagine some NASA technicians hanging out by the bottom of the ship. How's it going, bud? Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that's a condor moment. You just need that music playing. Hamlet cigar music, that's what we should have. Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet. They have dimmed the lights and are watching the screens. Okay, well, that's good. They're strapped in. Ooh, excellent. Excellent. Excitement. There's Drew's just cruising it. Another 300. Look at all the light years in the bag. We're going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. There's no risk whatsoever.
Frameshift drive charging.
They have dimmed the light and they're watching the screen. Is this the point when the seatbelt lights come on and the air stewardess just wanders down and just sort of checks that you're firmly in your seat? Is that what they're doing at the moment? You know, the whole if you look to your left and your right, you'll notice there are no exits. Welcome aboard this Orion space capsule to the moon. We'd like to, if you wouldn't mind, paying attention to the flight safety briefing. If you'd like to take this moment to familiarise yourself with the location of the exits,
Frameshift drive supercharged.
bearing in mind that the nearest exit may be behind you. In particular, on this vessel, the nearest exit is in fact in front of you. Is a series of massive emergency ejection rockets that will hopefully pull you out of danger should the rest of the spaceship below you explode in a fiery mess.
Frameshift drive charging.
Our flight time today will be 10 days. In which case, you and your friends, your fellow pilots, will be stuck inside this metal tin can together, sharing quite intimate details with each other as a result of the confined space for the next 240 hours. You'll notice that the loo is at the back of the ship. First class accommodation can be found at the front. Please ensure your seat backs and tray tables are upright and locked.
Frameshift drive operating.
And please switch off your mobile phone.
Frameshift drive.
Cabin lights will be dimmed for takeoff and landing. In the event of landing on water, parachutes will deploy and the US Navy will pick us up.
Frameshift drive charging.
in the event of a heat shield failure, your existence will be terminated so abruptly that your nervous system will not have time to react. So, don't concern yourself with this particular outcome. Dear. So they wear nappies and diapers at the moment. Once in space, they've got a toilet which they can use. Whoa! Okay, this is a properly serious looking neutron star we have here.
Systems complete.
Whoa! Okay, this one looks pretty intense. Yeah. So I mean, space travel doesn't sound glamorous, does it? I mean, I'm when I was young, I had delusions that I might indeed be a spaceman. At the age of maybe 7 or 8.
Warning. Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
I'm surprised in this neutron stuff. Look at the state of that.
Supercharged.
But that was crudely dashed by the fact that my eyesight was appalling, or relatively appalling, and you had to be a certain height, I think, back then to be an astronaut. And I wasn't tall enough, so I couldn't see, and B, I couldn't reach the controls, which kind of basically cuts my spaceship commanding career down to size rather abruptly. Until Tim Peake, I think Tim Peake was the first UK astronaut. Is that right? I'm not sure. I know he is a UK astronaut. Was he the first one? And there aren't many UK astronauts because the UK doesn't really have a space program. He was the first male, was it? Okay. Helen Sharman was the first British astronaut. Ah, okay. Yeah, I got that one the wrong way around. There really isn't a UK space program of any kind of note. I haven't got any actual spaceships, which is kind of the defining criteria of a space program, I think. But we have contributed astronauts, and we do some stuff, and we've obviously contributed to ESA and various other bits and pieces. But as in actually having a working spaceship, no, we don't. So I was at a big disadvantage not being born American. At least I thought I was at a big disadvantage not being born American back then. Nowadays, I count my blessings that I was not born American. But that's another story. But we did have Patrick Moore, Sir Patrick Moore. In fact, yes, I did. I have told you my story of meeting Patrick Moore, I think, a few times. So that's quite good. Wintermute GB will doubtless tell you. I have, excellent. There we go. So I shan't talk about Patrick Moore any other time. But yes, so I met him, but space travel, because I went to see Tim Peake give a speech, like a talk about space travel, and you kind of have this kind of glamorous sort of 80s sci-fi notion of what space travel is going to be like, informed by Star Trek and Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica and all those kind of things, right? And even slightly more serious sci-fi movies such as things like 2001: A Space Odyssey, where there's a very, very civilized moon shuttle that goes to the moon with a stewardess on board, some nice food and so on and so forth. And even the long distance spacecraft that goes to Jupiter, Discovery 1. All very, very, very civilized, right? You just get on board. There's a sentient computer which obviously goes mad and tries to kill everybody, but other than that, it's quite well behaved. The spaceship is civilized. There's a carousel on board, so there's some pseudo gravity, and there's a space pod. It all looks fine. It all looks really quite civilized. Space by the early 2000s is clearly going to be basically like a kind of posh, rather clean German hotel with all sort of white surfaces and everything looking very polished and tidy. Alas, the real nature of space travel is somewhat less appealing, because the first thing that Tim Peake said is the moment you go up there, you feel sick. you feel utterly nauseous for the first 24 hours because, as far as your body is concerned, your stomach is now in a situation where it thinks it's falling constantly. You know that feeling you get when a lift starts to descend, or you go over the top of a roller coaster. You get that initial, my stomach is dropping out from underneath me. Well, because you're weightless, that persists, right? It's just constant until your stomach adjusts to the thing. So that doesn't sound good. So basically, yeah, if you're at all subject to any kind of nausea, you're gonna feel pretty darn ill the moment you're in space, right? Then there's the discomfort of actually getting into space, because it's not just a case you just press the button and off goes the spaceship into space. No, you have to be subjected to some really rather unpleasant G-forces, right? So you get squashed into your seat and uncomfortable things. And clearly there's a lot of noise and vibration as well, which doesn't sound good either, right? So that's bad. And there's also, of course, the imminent danger that you are actually sitting on top of a small metal canister, basically being launched into space by the combination of one explosive gas and one highly reactive gas, which is being meted together by a machine that has, in fact, been built by the lowest bidder. There's always the chance the whole thing is going to explode in a massive conflagration, which of course cannot be discounted at this stage in the game. So yeah, if you survive getting into space, you're going to have to be crushed in the process. And when you get there, you're going to feel nauseous for the first few days, because your body's basically going, I'm falling. And your onboard sensors, of course, your eyes and your ears, are basically telling you, no, I'm not falling. And of course, when your body sensors kind of get out of sync with each other, your brain interprets this as, I must be ill. Therefore, then they basically said nausea arrives. So that's not nice. The other thing, of course, that happens, which I hadn't appreciated, is that your body is clearly designed to work at a gravity field, right? So our bodies have evolved in 1G gravity. So when you put the human body into 0G, a lot of what it's normally pushing against no longer is there, because you're in free fall. I mean, technically you're not in zero gravity, but for the sake of ease of explanation, yes, I know you're in free fall and gravity is in fact operating on you. Yada yada yada. Yes, okay, I get the physics, right? But let's just, for the sake of convenience, let's say you're in 0G, right? What this means a couple of things, right? Okay, so all your internal systems that are used to pushing against gravity suddenly find themselves not having to push against gravity, which means that certain fluids and other aspects of human anatomy, shall we say, tend to, dare I say, pool in unexpected places. One of these, alas, is your head. So if any of you have had a really, really bad cold, when fluid kind of builds up behind your eyes and in your ears and streams out of your nose and all that sort of stuff, that's what happens to you when you first get into space. Is basically you develop all the symptoms of a massive, really, really heavy head cold. So headaches, etc., etc. Which I hate. I hate having a head cold anyway. And then, the idea of having an enforced head cold simply due to the fact that I'm in space sounds very, very unpleasant indeed. And that's before you get to any of the other slightly less salubrious aspects of space travel, involving things like intestines and lower intestines and other aspects of your anatomy, which I probably at this point don't need to mention because they're obviously blindingly obvious. And all of those things are impacted rather negatively by 0G, okay? Oh, I just conked out.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Supercharge. Oh, didn't. It by all accounts extremely unpleasant experience indeed.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Yeah, Ignatius, you're quite right. I did sort of put a disclaimer there. You are very much in free fall. You are still in the gravity field, but yeah, effectively, you're weightless, as it were. I appreciate the distinction is subtle, but yes. Why is it not supercharging? Oh, there it goes. Got it.
Frameshift drive supercharged.
Frameshift drive has been supercharged.
Frameshift drive charging.
There we go. Gravity does indeed suck. So combine all those things together, and then there's the indignity of how you go to the loo in 0G. And there's also the indignity of how you actually have a shower and keep yourself clean in 0G. And then the fact that you're also in close proximity to a lot of other human beings in very, very small amounts of quarters, which would, from my perspective, be an absolute no-no, because I'm not the most social of people. I'm not highly introverted, and I think I would find it absolutely agonising. So, alas, space travel does not sound glamorous whatsoever. So I have no desire to be on any kind of actual real spaceship. Now, if the ones from 2001 and things like that had actually become a thing, I think I might have been tempted, but I somehow suspect it's very unlikely. Oh, we've actually arrived. We're here. This is good. So, is there a fleet carrier here? Oh, apparently not. So I think I'm in the right system. Yeah, so Ugly Spirits has pretty much summed it up. So maybe a space tourism. I probably could manage that. I suspect. Yeah, if that got to a point. Oh, for no reason. Why have I gone to the wrong? Why have I gone to the wrong locale? It's supposed to be there. Did it move? I don't know what happened there. That's a bit weird. Yeah, I can possibly imagine the space, the space tourism. Maybe 20 minutes of weightlessness. So uploading your consciousness doesn't sound so bad. So yes, the realities of space travel sound very unpleasant indeed. I don't think I fancy that at all. So I'm going to stick with my I'm going to stick with my fictional starships. So I'm going to go over to where I think the Fleet Carrier is. Because I'm not entirely convinced now. Let's hope we've not been going on a wild goose chase.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Cyber Army says yes, that's where we should be, which is good. One can only assume that the food in space is not super great either. Cyberdome is docked on board the Odysseus. Now I might be able to make the Odysseus. Let's just get here. Yeah, see the vomit comment. See, that doesn't appeal to me either. It's like let's just throw up on a plane. I can do that. I can do that all by myself. I don't need any assistance on that particular score. Actually, I think I need to do that, don't I? Right. There we are. The Pillar of Crystal is here. I have found a ship. Top Shot has just made. I might see if I can catch the Odysseus up there because that worked quite. Let's just dock at the Pillar of Crystal for just to say hello. Then see if we can get to the Odysseus as well. Because why not? The Top Shot's just made it here. Okay, so that's quite cool. So it can't be too far. So I should be able to make it on stream. That's all right. let's do that. This is a nice neutron star. Look, it's all swooshy and nice. I can't tell. Am I close to the neutron star, or why is the pillar of crystal so close to the neutron star? Here we go. Excellent. Yeah, it's very dangerous parking this close to a neutral star, to be honest. I think quite irresponsible, really. We should have words with whoever's in charge. Oh. Okay, so when's it jumping? When is it going? Is it going soon? Didn't even give me pad 07. Anyway. Hello, Commander. Right, Aero Services will tell me. Okay, so it is going. Is it going? Jumping in 5 minutes. Where is it jumping to? Is it? Oh, it's going to the Flyo-Preo system. Is that quite good? Is that the right direction? It's too late to go anywhere else. So let's go and watch. It is going towards the waypoint. Excellent. Well, that's useful. So I can use it to shortcut some of my journey. Why not? Launch of Artemis 2 is just over 2 hours. Quite exciting now, isn't it? Five minutes. I'm not sure if I've been on the Pillar of Chista before. So 23, is everything still proceeding according to plan then? It is going towards the waypoint. This is good news, so I can use this to shortcut the. Is anybody here today? The bar empty. So far, everything's going to plan. That's good. Winnie Miranda. Now, she sounds like the kind of lady who should be able to serve somebody a beer, doesn't she?
What can I get you, Commander? Well,
actually, she's quite pretty. Which makes a change from most Elite Dangerous characters. Oh, I like her. Winnie Miranda. Hello, Winnie. She's my new favourite NPC. I better get to the command deck, though, because otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. No holds yet. Oof. Excitement. Vistage Genomics? No. Let's get ourselves seated. We like a carrier jump, don't we? There we go. So, jump in 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Phase 1. Lockdown protocol is active. Quite comfortable looking chairs, actually, aren't they? Sort of, I mean, they're very sort of 70s style, I think. Do Fleet Carrier owners get to choose any of the colours and stuff of their interior decor? That's Commander Top Shot has arrived. Hello there, sir. Do you get to choose your interior decor? Because, I mean, tan leather seats, I mean, they're very me, but not exactly state of the art, are they? Much more comfortable than the Artemis chairs. I think that's probably fair. I mean, we are talking 1,000 years of spaceflight technology improvement. since our short halting journeys to the moon in the timeline of Elite Dangerous. But yes, curiously 20th century looking, these chairs, aren't they, really? Now, something that's a bit funny about the Elite Dangerous universe, obviously a lot of it is incredibly super amazingly high tech, things like hyperdrives and stuff like that, and invisible force fields and shields and stuff. But a lot of it's surprisingly mundane. That there's a corrugated floor there which wouldn't look out of place in the 20th century, and seats. And I know human anatomy requires seats to be seats, but even so, they didn't look very particularly spacey in 1,000 years in the future, do they? There are 3 colours from what I remember, says Commander Gromand. You can say you've got limited choice of in customization available. Now, I'd want baseball mitten, leather stitching and all sorts of, maybe some furry dice or maybe some throws and a small fireplace or something. Maybe a log burner. Those are the sort of things I want on my fleet carrier. Not that I'll ever have enough money to have a fleet carrier, but there we go. So you need a bit of homely decor. That's what I like about things like No Man's Sky, where you can stick completely incongruous items inside your spaceships. So that's good. Right, we're down to a minute. Wipe clean, hopefully. So, because yes, of course, for some bizarre reason, which is on my list of things to have a chat with David Braben about, is despite being able to manipulate physics in remarkable ways, somehow humanity has not been able to crack anti-gravity technology in the Elite Dangerous universe, and still resorts to magnetic boots. Which doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever, but it's rules, and you can't argue with David Braben because it's his universe and he can do what he likes with it. But it doesn't make any logical sense. That's the only point I will make to, if I ever speak to him again on this particular subject. And my top 10 list of things that I need to speak to David Braben about has still been curated. One of these days I shall have to take a trip down to Cambridge and say, right, I'm going to pin this. It's going to be like Martin Luther King, really. I'm going to pin my treatise to the wall of frontier developments and say, right, these are 10 things I demand. David Braben answers me on. Alan says it's funny the changes that sci-fi authors don't anticipate, because he's reading Ursula Le Guin in the spacefaring far future, and they still have landline phones and paper newspapers. Yeah, there are things like that which you go, I should really have thought about that. Martin Luther, not Martin Luther King. Sorry, I said Martin Luther King. Oops. Yes, no, Martin Luther, an entirely different individual. Here we go, hyperspace. Hoo! And there's that curious little motion there where everything seems to reverse direction, doesn't it? Which is just an artifact of the carrier jump. Interesting, it says they're exiting hyperspace portal. I do mean Martin Luther, yes indeed. I may now leave my seat. Right. So let's see if we can get back to the ship, see if we can find our way to the Odysseus now, and then I'll be back to where I should have been at the start of the stream. We'll have to I'm going to go and say goodbye to my new favourite NPC. Yeah, I was going to say the lights were a bit dim there in the command deck, weren't they? Maybe somebody hadn't put 50p in the meter. Right. Yeah, it's been a pleasure to meet you, my love. Take care, and I'll see you next time. There we go. Right, that's all done. They're in goth mode. Right, I just see it's in Freya something or other. Right, let's get to the ship. Fortunately, the other electronics aboard the Fleet Carrier do appear to be working. Should be no issues in the Caspian. You haven't seen my flying, have you? Right. Let's get back to the surface. Right, where am I going? I'm going to that one there, presumably. Am I plotting the route? We're checking it twice. I'm going to find out if Drew is naughty or nice. In fact, he's both. Right, how many jumps is it going to be? It's 37 jumps! Now, the danger here is 37. That's presumably there aren't enough neutron stars on the way. Well, I'm going to have to just get on with it, aren't I? Presumably, quite a lot of these are not neutron starable. There aren't so many neutron stars along the way. Ooh. Try the plot again just in case it's been deselected. Don't think it has. To use jet cone boost is enabled. Got it. Plotting. No, still 37 jumps. Wowzers. Okay, well, see if we can catch up. We've got a bit of time. We've got 50 minutes to do 37 jumps. Is that reasonable? It's quite a long way, isn't it? Space is big, apparently. Turns out, insanely big. You wouldn't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. I think all the startups. I know. I normally do the DF1 Girl Kiss Me thing, which isn't me making any invitations. It's a mnemonic for star types, which I'm sure most of you are aware. You do have to pay attention to the fuel gauge because, of course, you can't. Oh, did it? Oh, it didn't work. Now to the end of the thing. There we go.
Safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Let's fly through space so we can continue to chat. Keep me posted on the progress of Artemis 2 as well. That's always good to do. It does actually bring back into focus exactly how big the galaxy is, doesn't it? With the you're jumping hundreds of light years in hits, and it still feels like a long old way across the galaxy. It didn't charge again. I'm losing my knack here, which is a bit annoying. There we go.
Safety limits. Frameshift drive supercharged. Frameshift drive charging.
Anyway, we're cutting a big. Top Trip could give me the locations of the next neutron star. That's not a bad idea actually. It seems to be doing alright so far. Commander Gromer says, speaking of Elite IP, is there any word of a new installment? I remember hearing about a strategy game a few years ago. Yes, I did hear about that. Baron Von Noodle says, nice to see you, Drew. I'm off to watch a bit of telly. Well on, Commander. Be good. So we're still getting neutron stars at the moment. That's good.
System scan complete.
I haven't. I've got Starfield again. Very generously donated to the stream. We must do a bit of Starfield. I think at the end of Distant World stream we'll pop over to Starfield because I have not yet played it. So we will definitely do that because I haven't even tried Starfield yet. So I'm quite keen to see what that was all about. Particularly, there's some updates coming which may have improved the game in general terms. So yes, Frontier has trademarked Elite Deadly a number of years back, but nothing will happen. Then presumably after Elite Deadly, there's Elite. So with these neutron stars, I should have taken a decent chunk out of the journey already. There's another one up ahead, so far we're doing all right. I must admit, I always thought the name Elite Dangerous was a daft name. I never thought it was very elegant. I mean, Elite the original game actually was not going to be called Elite. It was going to be called The Elite, which is a piece of history, obviously now. But it quickly got just shortened to Elite, which kind of makes sense simply because it was nice and easy to say. And then Frontier, of course, was Elite 2, which is how these things work. And Frontier First Encounters was Elite 3. But Elite Dangerous, it always felt quite clunky to me. I didn't like it right from the get-go. Because what does that mean, Elite Dangerous? Is it something to do with the naming convention of commanders? But why choose Dangerous rather than, So Elite 4, obviously, kind of, that's not very imaginative. Mostly Harmless actually wouldn't have been a bad game, would it? That's not a bad name for it. But I kind of get the draw of having the word Elite in it because obviously you need the brand recognition, right? So it has to be Elite something. So what should it have been? To be honest, I would have just gone for Elite again. Maybe with a subtext, or some kind. I would just called it Elite because it's still Elite, right? And there were only old fuddy-duddies like me and you guys would all that necessarily be aware. And I suppose Elite again. It is Elite Raxler Legacy, yes. Elite 3300, that's not bad. I mean, to get it kick, I suppose the trick is to get it kick-started. It had to appeal to the original Elite players, didn't it? So because without them, the Kickstarter wouldn't have been successful, and the game might never have got off the ground at all. So you had to have something that appealed to the legacy players as they were then. And I know there's still quite a few of us around, but I suspect nowadays the majority of people who are playing Elite are probably not the classic players. Old man Elite. Old man's Elite. Yeah, that's quite good. Trademark the game Elite. Sitting at stations waiting for a specific ground mission date for a war. Elite again. Sounds pretentious. Oh no, more Elite. I mean, Elite's the next generation. I mean, how about that? Elite, A New Hope. You could do it like Brideshead Revisited, Elite Revisited. I don't know. I mean, but Elite Dangerous. What does that? That doesn't work for me. Elite Dangerous. It's not quite right. It just sounds clunky. I don't know I don't know what I would replace it with. Elite Reloaded, yeah. Elite Redux, maybe. Elite Lave Academy. I don't know. It is a tough one. I think you need to have Elite, but you need to. I don't think Dangerous was the right choice. Maybe they went through this entire process and they ended up with Dangerous because nobody had a better idea. Because it's not actually all that easy to come up with a really rather good marketing name that's distinct. That still incorporates the word elite. Elite, the adventure continues. Yes, that's not bad. Whatever happened to the elite lads? Yes. Oh, new fools and elite pilots. Elite rebooted. Elite in space. Elite. The graphics are actually good this time. Elite 4 was always, I suppose Elite 4 was always an option. Yeah. Elite the search for Rexler. Yes, that could have been it too. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a tough one. It's definitely a tough one. Well, I am starting to run out of. Whoa! Oh no, that was a white dwarf, wasn't it? Ouch. Elite reboosted. I missed Frontier's graphics. It should be modernised, but stay the same. I mean, Solstice Project. I mean, actually, to be fair, there are quite a few versions of the Frontier game that have been enhanced with modern graphics. You've got FFEGL and other things like that. So you have got some choice. Alice, stop it! Stop it! Elite Galcop Wars. Elite the Wrath of Bremen. Alice is. Elite dethrottled. What's happened to Top Shot? Has he just disappeared off the? Has he disappeared off the chat as well? What happened? We've lost him. Elite, the death of Top Shot. Elite, the endless mission to part players with their money. Elite Arcs Wars. Yes, you see, we come up with some fantastic ideas on this stream. Elite 2014, it's not bad. Elite 3300, that's quite good actually. Elite 3300, I think that's the best suggestion we've had on the stream actually. Because you could just have the Elite logo and then the numbers 3300 underneath. I think that would work, to be frank. I'd probably vote for that one of all of the things that we've talked about. I think that is possibly the best. Right, this is the White Dwarf. I've got to be a bit careful with this. So you don't want to hit that exclusion zone again. Elite MMMCCC, yeah. Not very easy to say that. Careful, you'll give me an unwarranted sense of self-body. Yeah, that can happen on this stream, Haunted Loaf. Be careful of that. Oh, what? I'm not even near the thing! Jeez. Okay, this White Dwarf is being a pain. Okay, so they've just gone past 2 hours. Orbit lines have this. Shall I switch them on just for this particular? Where's that chip? Where is it? Self-destruct? No. Light assistance. Hyperspace dethrottle. No, we don't get near that. Orbit lines are off. There we go. Try this again.
Ready to engage. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Taking heat damage.
So how are you supposed to get into this? There's the exclusion zone there. You can barely see the pulse. It's literally really, really on the edge there. That's quite hard.
Frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits. Frameshift drive
Oh, I
supercharged.
just about managed it. Cook your dinner on the dashboard, absolutely.
Frameshift drive
There we go.
charging.
I saved myself quite a lot of fuel by doing that. Whatever you do, don't drop into the exclusion zone while in the jet. No, that's. I've done that once. I thought I'll just do this for science.
4, 3, 2,
Didn't work out well. Yeah, I mean, actually, Frank Miner, that's a very good point. There hasn't. I mean, there has been coverage of the moon stuff, but from my perspective, not in the way I kind of would expect there to be, if you know what I mean. It didn't feel like there was a huge amount of coverage. I mean, certainly no hype like you would expect, like the the Apollo launches and all that kind of cobblers. So if you weren't aware there was a moonshot going on, then you probably wouldn't pick up on it. Well, I know we get our news from all sorts of different sources, but I mean, I must say, even before the whole war thing kicked off recently, there wasn't much coverage about this moon stuff, and it is, I would argue, a fairly historic moment. 50 years since we last went back to the moon. I guess the real hype will be the actual landing, which is fair.
Frameshift drive charging.
It has been on Sky, yeah. So I suppose I'm not really in the position where I watch that much television, so that may be partly my fault. But I watch evening highlights every so often, and it's a passing comment on there. There is a Sky at Night special, which is good, yes. Alice says, maybe caution, but the first woman on the moon. Yeah, well, that's going to be a big thing, right? Because it was an all-male mission last time, 50 years ago. And like I said, we've had many women in space now, but it's it's only right that we have a woman on the moon as well. I think that's going to be a cool thing. So let's that's going to be something very much worth celebrating. And Frank Miner remembers the first time Apollo 8 was a big deal. So yeah, I kind of feel there should be a bit more coverage about it.
Fuel scooping.
And yes, NASA has got a YouTube channel, which is very true. I think we've run out of neutron stars. That's why we've slowed down now, isn't it?
Frameshift drive.
How many jumps have I still got? I've still got 27 jumps. How am I doing? Not very well. Commander Gomes says, I'm glad folks mentioned it, otherwise I would have missed it. Yes, it's just not been quite front and centre. I mean, I know Mr. Trump has been grabbing headlines as he wants to do, but yeah, even with that, how far away am I? I'm still a long way, I think, in number of light years.
Fuel scooping.
Do appear now to have run out of neutron stars.
Fuel scooping complete.
Top Shot is back, but he's not back in game.
Charging.
Can I not use the words Trump and grabbing in the same sentence? I'll try and avoid that. Let's not tweak sensitivities as a result.
3, 2,
Oh, Top Shot has dropped. He's dropping in and out. Alice says it will be a Valentina Tereshkova moment. It will indeed. I think that's good. I'm delighted that that sort of stuff is becoming a thing now for space exploration, amongst other things.
Fuel scooping.
How many jumps? I think that was 26 jumps.
Fuel scooping complete.
Yeah, current geopolitical situation is rather troublesome, and it is distracting from cool space stuff. It is. I mean, why the hell can't we just? I mean, why is me potty all this stuff? Because I'm a simple soul. I don't understand all this geopolitical tension at all. Particularly when it becomes generational. This is the thing that annoys me. I kind of understand that sometimes we have wars or we have conflicts, right? I get that. We're not always going to all agree, right? It's when it becomes intergenerational. That's when I start getting really impatient with humanity. It's like, well, okay, they invaded us. We hate them as a result. I get that, but then when you teach your children that we hate them because they invaded us all those years ago, and therefore we're keeping the hatred alive because we've got to, they were bad and we were good. And as a result, then another conflict kicks off with a new generation of people who just inherited their hatred from their previous generation. That's where I look at humanity and go, really? Come on, guys, just let's chill the hell out, will you? I'm still young and naive. What do I know? May I direct you to Douglas Adams' advice on diplomacy? Yes, I know. I am well aware of the irony of my position. But why can't? I mean, we've got space to explore. We've got to get to the moon. We've got to get to Mars. We've got the entire solar system of the galaxy out there. Come on, we need to get on with it. Stop mucking about, chucking sticks and stones at each other down here. There's space to explore. There's warp drives to develop. We need to get on with it. It's highly frustrating that we're wasting all this time and energy
Frameshift drive charging.
on just mucking about finding smarter and more difficult ways to kill each other. But there we go. How far away from or me are you? Well, I don't know, Top Shot. You're asking me questions for which I don't know the answer. Let me do this jump and I will tell you. I'm a bit below the galactic plane. Okay, that's possibly an issue. Okay, let me find out how far away from Top Shot I in fact am. I'm looking on the galaxy map. I am currently here. Where are you, Top Shot? Which one are you in? You're there, so that's Top Shot's location. I can plot a route to you. Apparently that's 15 jumps away, which feels like a bit of a detour, really. Because to get to look at that convoluted route that it's going through to get to there. You are quite right. I'm tiny bit below the galactic, but this is where I'm trying to aim for, which is now 23 jumps away. So it doesn't feel. That still feels like a better route to me, so I'm gonna stick to what I know.
Frameshift drive charging.
I was going to say I might as well just keep going. I think so. 23 jumps and 28 minutes left on the stream. Can I get home before Artemis 2 launches? Does my ship have a 70 light year range? Ish. Yes. Yeah. So it's 14 jumps with the neutron route. Yeah, so I mean, by the time I get to you and figure out the neutron route and work out how to plot it. Okay, you're saying aim for flew. Okay, well, I'll indulge you. I'll indulge you. Let's see what's going on. Flyer Fleo. TPA E0. It reckons I can't do that, apparently. Alas. So presumably I'm not quite at 70 light years. So I'll stick to my original plan. We'll just keep going. Keep on trucking. Well, I did have a 70 light year range. Maybe I don't. Yeah, so April the 1st is a launch date for a spaceship. Doesn't feel ideal, does it? I expect it when it gets the countdown gets to 0 for little flags to pop out the side. They go boom. That's probably me. Okay, so Alice says they've got a problem with Artemis 2. They're going to have to get a part from the Space Shuttle Museum to fix it. Now, Alice, I imagine my disappointment when I'm finding out you're not talking about Artemis Bridge Simulator 2. Yes. That's a rather good game as well. I enjoyed playing that. I am actually personally responsible for a patch to Artemis Spaceflight Simulator, or Bridge Commander, whatever it's called. Have I told you that story? I probably have, but I might tell it again since we've got plenty of time and I've still got 20 jumps to go. Is that I played Artemis Simulator back at LaveCon in, I don't know, 2015 or something, 2016, so quite a while ago now. And Captain Drew Wager and his intrepid team of bridge crew did reasonably well. We were doing excellently. And we ran out, of course, one of the things in it is you run out of ordnance, and alas, the baddies, which of course are Klingons, but they're not called Klingons, had destroyed our last space station. So we didn't have any means to recharge the key weapons, the nukes, which are the most effective weapon you could use in Artemis, as I recall. And as a result, we were like, well, how can we? Yeah, we still had phaser power, or laser power, whatever it is, but we didn't. We were outnumbered quite badly, and I didn't have a good means to defeat the enemy. I thought, well, if we go into battle with just the normal weapons, we're going to get destroyed. So that's not going to work. So I came up with what became known as the Drew maneuver. Okay, and what we did is we went into sensor range of all the enemy ships, and then basically got their attention, so they started following us. And then I instructed the helmsman to head towards the black hole, which was on the system map, and as basically just stay far enough ahead of the alien ships that they were following us, but couldn't quite actually shoot us. So they basically chased us across the map. And then just at the last minute, I got the helmsman to accelerate slightly and loop round the back of the black hole. At which point, the enemy ships, whose AI was somewhat limited at the time, decided that they were going to come straight for us. and quite conveniently flew themselves straight down the black hole and obliterated themselves. At which point we won the game. And the developers basically looked at me and went, "We hadn't thought of that one." So it became known as the Drew maneuver, and then they updated the patch. They patched the game so that I was the last person to successfully do that maneuver, because now the computer AI is aware of the existence of the black hole in the game and will now navigate around it. But I did feel quite vindicated at the time. Which just goes to show you, see, I don't believe in the no-win scenario. So yeah, so I'm quite pleased. Somewhere in the patch notes for Artemis there should be a reference to the Drew maneuver, and then it's patched out of the game. So none of you could do that. Okay, it's a classic. All right, there are no neutron stars in this part of the galaxy, it would seem. Or at least not on my route, which is a bit sad. So what is to my actual hyperspace range is obviously not as much as I thought it was. Top shot has arrived. See, look, he's just being smug. I am making progress across the map. Look, we've got 21 minutes to go. And I have... oh, I can't tell you. There we go. I've got 17 jumps. I might do this. I might do this. How long does it take to do a complete hyperspace jump? It's a little bit more than a minute, isn't it? I've always gone a hyperspace jump takes 2 minutes, but I'm not sure if that's entirely true. Ranges on the statistics at the bottom. There we go. So my range is currently 72 light years. Should be enough. The Caspian FSD does cool down very quickly, which is good. Okay, so maybe I can just keep rocking on. Further Builder says NASA is having issues with flight termination systems, but still counting down at 1 hour and 43, or 1 minute and 43. No, it can't be. What time does it go? It's supposed to be past 11 our time. It's about an hour. 1 hour. Okay. Exciting stuff, isn't it? I'm 13 jumps away. No, I'm not. I'm 16 jumps away. So it's T minus 1 hour and 42 minutes. Okay. Why is it T minus? Is that T just time? Time and minus. I mean, it sounds very American, very cool. No, it's not. It's not picking up any neutrons for me on this route at the moment, which is a bit annoying. 13 in your ship. Okay, well, you've just got a better ship, Pete. British would be T minus. Excellent. Yeah, actually, a British space program would be quite funny, wouldn't it? You see, I'm not convinced a British space program would have would have a countdown like 10, 9, 8. That feels to me rather American. I think a British space program would basically have the last 3 bits. It would be basically ready, steady, go, or chocks away, or tally ho, or something like that. That's what a British space program would sound like. You join us here for the launch of Beagle 4, the first British space mission to the moon. It's T minus ready, steady, go. Tally ho, yeah. Chocks away, belly ho, ready, steady, go. I don't think the countdown's too American. That's very American. 10, 9, 8. It's very dramatic, isn't it? It can't be good for the astronauts' nerves. That whole 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Yeah, that. Yeah. I saw a big red button that says launch. Totally bewildered. Ready, chaps, go! Yes. Yes, I suppose I mean, if you listen to any of the European space launches, they don't do it in English, do they? They do it in French. So, yeah. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, etc. The first use of a countdown was in the 19th. There we go. That's an interesting fact there. 1929 German film, science fiction film, Frozen Moon, Woman in the Moon. Well, I didn't know that. First time chat from Polzar69. Hello, good to see you. Thank you very much for popping into the stream. We are desperately trying here to catch up with a fleet carrier, because I was a loon and didn't get on board it when I should have done. So we're just flying through the depths of space, trying to catch up. 8, 7, 6, 5. Hold on, chaps. It's 3 o'clock. Better stop for a cuppa. Okay, so actually it was a fictional thing that inspired real countdowns. I wonder what would have happened if we hadn't had that then. Is it just like, go? Which probably isn't ideal either. Of course, I mean, obviously, yeah, launching a spaceship into orbit like that is. I mean, I've tried Kerbal space program, so I know how difficult these things are, right? Yeah, it's not just a case of right, we're going now, right? You know, you have to make sure everything's lined up and the moon and everything is in the right place in the sky. Your launch window isn't obviously quite down to the second, but it's certainly confined to a few minutes, as I understand it, because obviously the Earth is rotating and the moon is orbiting and stuff is happening all the time in space. Things are changing position rather inconveniently, which means you do have to aim and you have to take off at the right point. Very proud of our Ariane rocket. Yes, that's been a stalwart rocket launch system, hasn't it, for many years. Go Europe! Yay! Alice says maybe it would be liquid oxygen hydrogen drive charging. Yes, that takes a bit longer to do than our frameshift drive. Maybe just type your destination at the sat nav just before launch. MOON. Go. Calculating route. You have reached your destination. Pulsar67 says Elite Dangerous goes free to play. Does it? Starting from the 4th of May. Does it? I didn't know that. Is there some special offer going on? Was that April the 1st? You can't, you see, now Pulsar, there's rules about April Fool stuff, you see. You're not allowed to do it after midday. Otherwise bad things happen to you, I'm afraid. That's just one of those rules. You're only allowed to do April Fool's jokes before midday on April the 1st, right? Yeah, so I'm yeah. That's not allowed. Now, I suppose that depends on which time zone you're in. But here in the UK, we are now late in the evening. It's 10:45 at night. So as far as we're concerned, April the 1st is done and dusted. All right. So Pulsar's in Sweden. Okay, right. Well, okay. There's no excuses then, my friend. You're even further east than I am. No, I don't know. I mean, does April Fool's Day even travel? I kind of assumed it was a UK thing only, actually, but it sounds like it's not. Has it travelled into when is it? I mean, we need Mad Monk software for this. Someone needs to do a Wikipedia lookup on April Fool's Day. Is it a US thing? Okay. I mean, it's always been around. I've been aware of it. I think all my life, but I don't know. Definitely a Canadian thing. All countries now laying claim to it. No, it's ours. It's also a French thing. First time chat from Entity of Desire. Definitely. I'm with you, my friend. Up, oh Canada. Let's do it. April Poisson to Anvil. April Fool's Day originated with the Romans. Did it with Jimmy? What have the Romans ever done for us? Well, apparently they've given us April Fool's Day, so I mean, it was me thinking it was all the roads and the aqueducts and the education of the writing, but no, apparently it's April Fool's Day. And sewers, yep. Commander Groman is learning all sorts of neat stuff today. Yes, I suppose you probably are, my friend, but I dare say some of it is not entirely accurate. Commander David Vicey says, as Abraham Lincoln once said, don't believe everything on the internet. No, it's Sage Council, that is, indeed. So, if anybody's watching this and they're very young and ill-informed, I'm afraid we have done nothing to alter that condition whatsoever. You're still young and informed, I'm afraid. Don't forget central heating. No, that's very true. Well, I don't think we're all old and sage. There's a few of us on this stream who very much are old and sage, and I bow to their superior ageness. I, alas, have not yet become one of the sage elders of the stream. I am merely an apprentice elder. I bow to Wintermute GB has now been elevated into the house of sages. I feel by achieving birthdayness this week. It's only fair that we obviously celebrate said birthdayness once more, just because I mean, why not, right? I did warn you. Actually, I didn't, but you should know me reasonably well by now. So anyway, so happy birthday, Wintermute GB. He's gone very winter mute at the moment, but he's out there somewhere, nursing his wounds. He'll be back with a Saki comment at some point in the future. Yeah, I quite like that last night. I didn't know you could even do wibbly wobbly whirly notes on a bagpipe. I actually heard that before. Cynical, yes. Bitter. I will be if you please don't bloody tune again. Challenge accepted. Achievement unlocked. Trophy awarded. End of level boss vanquished. First time chat from Dan's211. Drew, hello, you're an elite. I am. Last time I checked on you years ago, you didn't have a good relationship with the game. Am I wrong? Well, I have a love-hate relationship with this game. In fact, I have a love-hate relationship with lots of things. But yes, we still tickle along with Elite. It is what it is. I mean, Odyssey was a bit of a disaster, but nowadays it's kind of Yeah, it is what it is. So we're here, and we're still playing.
Fuel scooping complete.
And I've been involved in Distant Worlds 3. And actually, about a year ago, I kind of got Frontier. It seemed was in a bit of a bad way with Elite, and so I kind of a few people said, "Drew, come back and stream the game again." And I'd actually stopped streaming, I think, at the time. I sort of looked at that. Well, I don't want Elite to die on my watch, so I came back and started streaming. I don't know if I had any impact on whether or not Elite Elite actually came back from the deal or not, but I'm going to take credit for it anyway, because why not? And now Elite seems to be going from strength to strength again, which is good. We've got new ships and new stuff, and I like new spaceships, so that's all good. Who single-handedly brought the game back from the big... Yes, that was entirely me and my unwarranted sense of self-importance.
Frameshift drive charging.
It's a welcome sight. Well, thank you very much, Stans. That's much appreciated. I mean, I am not too far out. I'm 3 jumps. I'm going to make this. I'm just going to make it in time, just for the end of the stream, which is good. So it seems the Caspian can jump in about a minute, which is pretty cool, actually. Which does mean that if you know you've got so many jumps to do, it's going to take you that many minutes, which is a comforting thing. Commander, I mean, I just the stuff that you recorded usually comes up on YouTube, and it was good for a new player. Well, that was really the aim of my old lore videos, was to try and make the game make a bit of sense to anybody who's like, okay, what am I doing here? And I like the lore, as you know. The lore has been the bit that I'm most interested in the game, because I like the background story of stuff. And I've been into Elite since I was a wee lad back in 1985, whenever it was when it first came out. So it's, you know, that's 40. No, is it 40 years? Isn't it? 41 years now. So it's a long old time I've been associated with this game. Was it 1983 or 84? Oh, 85 would be the Spectrum version. That's what I'm thinking of. So that's when I would have got it. 84 must be the original game. Yeah. I was going to say it can't be 83. That's too early. Back when the Romans occupied Britain. I own Elite, but I've always been intimidated to start playing it because I have zero clue what's going on. Do you mean Entity of Device? Do you mean the original Elite? Because yes, I suppose by modern standards, yeah, there's very little hand-holding in the original Elite for you to figure out. You need to read the manual. If you can find the original manual to the game for the version that you're looking at, and probably the BBC version is the one you want to start with. That's worth going. In terms of this Elite, well, yeah. This is quite intimidating as well to a new player, I imagine. However, it does have a built-in tutorial which is quite reasonable now, particularly the on-foot bit and then into space and stuff. There is a reasonable amount of hand-holding, which never used to exist. So if you do start a new commander and be dangerous, you do get a little bit of hand-holding along the way as to what's going on. There are some tutorial missions and various things like that. But the original game, yeah, that's that by modern standards, I think is going to be the an initiation into a world of 80s pain, which if you lived in the 80s, you'll get instantly. But if you're not acclimatized to the way that 80s games worked, you're going to find that a bit of a shock. I have managed to come out here. Look at that! I'm going to make it. There is the Odysseus. I've caught up with it. It's taken me 2 hours, but I've caught up with it. I'm a happy bunny. And if you do want to know the story behind Lit Pages, you could probably do worse than look at my lore videos on the subject. I own this Elite 2 but also Intimidator because it's more MMO than complicated. Well, the good thing about this version of Elite is you can take it and leave it bit by bit. There's lots of things you can do in this version of Elite. You don't need to do them all simultaneously. You can just slowly build up bit by bit. And yeah, if you want to know the background story, look me up on YouTube and you'll find a whole bunch of lore videos which will bring you up to speed with the background of the game. And you don't, like you say, the guys say, you don't need to play the MMO. You can play it in single player mode, just to get yourself acclimatized to it. And there's lots you can do, which is good fun, just in single player. You don't need to worry about being ganked by lots of other superior players or anything like that. There are quite a lot of groups that you can find on Discord whereby welcome new players and also do PvE stuff, player versus environment, rather than PvP. So if you're into that sort of stuff and you want to do something together, and loads of people will handhold you through the initial parts of the game. So yes, lots of things you can do. Right, I've done it! I've arrived! Oh, look at that! I was 30 seconds ahead of schedule. That's not too bad, is it? I'm relatively pleased with that. I've managed to GG, yeah, 30 seconds to go. And I'm on board the Odysseus. Do I play mostly as a trader? No, I play mostly as an explorer. So I just wander around the star systems, scanning them, landing on them, and scanning things, and then reporting back every so often and getting some money. So I amble around the game. I have been known to do a little bit of combat and a little bit of mining and a little bit of trading, but exploration is what I tend to enjoy most. I like the scienciness and the spaceness and the astronomy of it. So that's what I like doing. Hence, what we're currently doing. This is a distant worlds expedition, so we're off somewhere in the deep part of the galaxy, looking at stars and stuff, space stuff. Oh, why am I not heading for the bar? I'm lost. Where's the bar? There it is. I don't know where I was going. Ah, there's Commander Alice, Commander Suda, and one hopes Commander Topshot. There they are. Look, they're all waiting for me in the bar. Oh, and Commander Raxler Redacted as well. There we go, gentlemen. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, shall I say. My stalwart crew. Look at everybody standing for attention. Excellent. Lovely to see you all. Fantastic. Yay! Yeah, well, that's right. Round of applause for you. Oh, no, wrong button. It's that one, isn't it? There we go. Nope, it's not. Which is the applause button? No, it's not that one either. I've pressed the wrong emote. Which one is it? Oh, I thought it was F5. It's not. Which one is it? Thumbs up. F7? There it is, F7. There we go. So yes, so how's the exploration compared to No Man's Sky? Well, it's a bit thin, but it's not too bad. There are things to do: scanning systems, looking for life forms, finding weird stuff on the planet at the surface, and then reporting back. So there's quite a lot of stuff. Plenty of my streams have been about all the exploration detail as well, so you might want to have a look through some of the past episodes and see where we are. But yes, pop into the Discord as well, and we can show you the routes there as well. That'd be good. But anyway, right. Well, I need to leave you, my friends. So thank you very much for joining me on this expedition to catch up with the Odysseus Fleet Carrier, which we have achieved. We've done a thing. We didn't die. We came close to crashing into a few things, but we didn't die. It was good. So all that remains is for us to, well, I suppose we should raise a glass of glue to dear Wintermute GB, shouldn't we? We'll ask Madeline for a glass of glue, and then I suppose it's only fair that one more time that we salute Wintermute GB and wish him a very, 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 very happy birthday indeed. Anyway, right. Okay, so I'm afraid no streams next week. I'm going to be on holiday, so apologies for that. I will be back Monday, the whatever that is, after next week, and I will see you then. Apologies with GP. It's all done the best possible way. All I need, my friends, at this point is is find me a streamer on Twitch who is streaming Elite Dangerous, who doesn't have too many followers right now, and we will go and raid them because we like to spread the love. So find me an Elite Dangerous streamer on Twitch that we can go and raid. That would be good. The Singing Sailor. Okay, that sounds like a good thing. The Singing Sailor. I don't think I've come across them before. That doesn't seem to work. Does it need to be exactly with the capitals? I suppose it does make sense. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That's the Singing Sailor. Okay. Oh yeah, that does work. Okay, well, okay. Let's go over there. I don't know if I've done that one before, but I shall send you over there. Let's go and raid them. And I'll send you across to there for a bit of Elite Dangerous love and fun. So right, enjoy that. I'll see you on the other side. Be good, and I'll see you in a week and a bit. Take care, my friends. Right, commanders. And 07. I am off all next week. I am indeed. Oh, that didn't work. I must have typed that wrong. The Singing Sailor. There we go. Right, it's working. Right, be good. See you soon, my friends. Take it easy. See you in a week and a bit.
Right. Raid time, raid time. Thank you very much, fellow streamer. Hey, who? Alex!